minimize their impact. Still under schedule management importance, we have the stakeholders communication, and the schedule serves as a communication tool for stakeholders. It sets clear expectations regarding project milestones and timelines, fostering transparency and accountability. Quality assurance, schedules are rushing through tasks due to poor scheduling can compromise the quality of deliverables, as you know. It allows for sufficient time for thorough planning, executing, ensuring the delivery of high quality results of the project. Then performance monitoring. It provides a baseline against which actual progress can be measured. It facilitates performance monitoring and allows for timely adjustments to be made in case of deviations from the plan. So it also leads to client satisfaction in a way that once you've scheduled clearly your activities within a project, then you actually meet the deadlines and deliverables on time as agreed per the schedule. And of course, everyone wants timely service delivery or receiving a product on time. So this demonstrates professionalism on the side of the organization or the person delivering this service or product. And the client is able to look at this person as a reliable person, thereby it supports in building trust and fostering long-term relationships as the clients are satisfied. Then it also fulfills the legal and contractual obligations. Once you had a project schedule in place, usually you find that most of the projects are bound by legal or contractual obligations regarding timelines and deadlines. So this schedule helps us in fulfilling these obligations and avoiding legal disputes. And overall, it contributes to project success. It ensures that the project obligations are achieved within the stipulated time, budget, and quality standards, thereby maximizing return on investments and organizational value. So those are some of the importances of project schedule management. Key components of project schedule management, we have a project planning, where we define the project scope, setting objectives and establishing timelines. Then it also we have the different scheduling techniques. We have Gantt charts. These ones are very common. We have a critical path method and a path. We are going to be looking at those. And during the next lecture, which is on adaptive implementation, we shall start with calculating critical path and see how these forward and backward passes work. And then I will move on to the adaptive implementation bit. Then resource allocation as one of the key components of our project schedule management, where we are looking at processes of assigning tasks, balancing workloads, and considering resource constraints. And then monitoring and controlling, monitoring of project progress and implementation, and implementing control measures to address deviations from the schedule. So some of the scheduling techniques that we have is a Gantt chart, and this is a project management tool that provides a graphical representation of a project schedule. What happens is it has key features. It has the task list, and this is a list of tasks or activities required to complete the project. Each task is represented as a separate row. It also has a timeline, and with this, this is now the horizontal axis of the Gantt chart, and that represents time, broken down into days, weeks, or months, depending on the duration of the project. It shows the duration from the start to the finish of the project. Then it has bars and blocks, and these represent each task. And the horizontal bar or the block on the chart, as we're going to see it, is the length of that chart is the time, the time or the duration of that activity, and its position indicates when the task happens. Then we have these dependencies. The schedule, the Gantt chart shows dependencies between tasks, showing which task must be completed before others start. This helps to understand the sequence of the task and identifying critical parts within the project. Then we have milestones. These are important project milestones that are needed to be achieved. For example, key deliverables or project reviews are usually marked on the Gantt chart to highlight significant points in the project timeline. Then it has a project progress tracking. The Gantt chart can be updated to reflect actual progress on completed tasks or delays, and this helps us in tracking progress, performance, and identifying any deviations from the original schedule. Then we have resource allocation. In some Gantt charts, the work plans are costed. So it allows for tasks to know which tasks are on time. This ensures that resources are effectively utilized and to identify potential resource conflicts. So basically, those are some of the features of the Gantt chart, and a Gantt chart will look something like this, where we have we say that it has tasks, and you can see the tasks are listed here. Sorry. You can see that the tasks are listed here, and then it has the bars, and these are the blocks here, which are the actual activities that are happening, and their duration. You will see that the length of the bar is the duration, so you can see that activity 1 here is happening almost for a full week. And it shows that dependencies. The dependencies shows that which activities are happening before and after. So it shows the dependencies. So we know that after activity 1 ends, as we are starting activity 2, some activity 1 tasks will be still ongoing, and then also activity 2 activities will be kickstarting. So it shows this also helps us to allocate resources, like we said. So you know that which activities is happening, and what sort of resources are needed to achieve that. And so this one doesn't have this sample doesn't have resources, but yeah, you'll find that sometimes you have to cost this and know that this is an activity that is happening, and the actual resources that are needed for that activity. So some of the benefits of using a Gantt chart, as you have seen, it helps us to visualize activities. They offer a visual representation of the project timelines, making it easy to understand the sequence of the tasks and their duration, like we have seen. You can easily know that this task is going to happen. For example, task 3, activity 1 will be happening in the 3rd week. So that visualization is key to collaboration and mobilizing resources. Then it helps us in communication. These Gantt charts facilitate communication among team members and stakeholders by providing a shared view of the project's schedules and milestones. As you can see here, we have a shared. So if you have different stakeholders, then they will know, oh, this is the activity that we are supposed to be working on, and they will share that. So the communication will be easily understood. Then resource allocation, like I said, it helps us in allocating resources effectively by identifying the task dependencies. You can see that activity 1 is happening, but then you know that after the second in the second week the second activity will be happening while also this one is ongoing, so you are able to allocate your resources in the necessary manner. Then it also helps us to track progress. They enable us to track progress against the planned timelines and adjust schedules as needed to ensure timely completion. So, in case this activity 2 or activity 1 delays, then activity 2 cannot really happen. So you are able to track this along and know that okay, in week 3 we shall be having activity 2 of task 2 start, and I also track progress and they are able to inquire if these activities have happened. So that's it about the Gantt chart. But basically, the Gantt chart is our usual work plan, and it shows the different tasks and their period of duration. So next is we have the critical path method. This we are going to have an introductory bit about this, and we shall be going into the details during the next lecture. So this is a project management technique used to identify the sequence of tasks that determine the shortest duration required to complete a task, a project. And the benefits of this is that it helps us in scheduling the activities and managing the resources and determining the project's overall time. So it helps us to prioritize activities that are within the critical path and identify potential bottlenecks or areas of risk in the project schedule. So how does this work? How the critical path method works is you identify a task, all the tasks. So you have to identify all the tasks that are required for the project to happen. So you identify all the tasks that are required to complete the project. So each task should be clearly defined with its duration and dependencies with other tasks specified. Then you sequence determination is the next key issue we have to focus on here in the critical path method. Once the tasks have been identified, there are sequences and dependencies that are determined. So dependencies indicate which tasks must be completed before others can start, as actually we also saw in the Gantt chart. Then it also involves estimating of duration. This involves the estimating of the required time to complete each task. This estimation can be based on historical data, expert judgment, or other relevant factors. Then we'll be able to look at the forward pass that we are going to in the next lecture, which involves calculating the earliest start and the finish for each task, and then the latest
finish time of the task is determined by the minimum of the latest start time of all its successor tasks. The earliest finish time is the sum of the earliest start time and duration of the project. We are going to look at this in detail, but I thought it would be good if we first get some introductory bit of it. Then I will have the backward pass, and here the latest start and finish time for each task are calculated. The latest finish time of a task is determined by the minimum of the last start time over all its successor tasks. The latest start time is the difference between the latest finish time and duration of the task. So we are going to look at this in detail, but we needed to get the introduction on it. Then it also involves a calculation of float and slack. And this is the amount of time a task can be delayed without delaying the project's overall completion time. It is calculated by taking the difference between the latest start time and the earliest start time. Or the difference between the latest finish time and the earliest finish time. Then it also involves the identification of the critical path. The critical path is the longest path through which the project network goes through. It is basically the sequence of tasks that have zero float, and we shall be looking at that still. Any delays along the critical path will directly impact the project overall duration, and we will be seeing that. So there's also the project and you have identified the different project activities. You use this information to create the project schedule, allocate resources, and monitor the progress. Tasks on the critical path require close attention to ensure that the project stays on schedule. So this we will be looking at in detail. Some of the benefits of using the critical path method, it allows for identifying critical tasks. Of course, when you've identified the critical tasks, then you can move forward and allocate resources optimally to this. Then you can manage the risk within the project. Once you know the dependencies, you can easily manage the risk, and then you improve also the planning. So basically that is it on the critical path. The next is a scheduling technique we have is a part which is a statistical project management technique used to analyze and represent the uncertainties associated with the project tasks, and it estimates the probability of completing the project within a specified time frame. This you also read about it in detail, but it also has its benefits of managing. You're able to manage the uncertainties. You're also able to look at the risks assessments and assess the different risks and decision making, and then continuously improve the project. So basically, that has been it for today. Sorry, the session has been really short, but I'm not feeling well. But I believe the next session we shall look through these in detail, and I'll introduce the concept of project adaptive implementation, and I will look at that in detail. I don't know if you have any questions for me for now. But basically, that is it. That has been the introduction on scheduling, and we'll be looking at scheduling in detail, and also look at how scheduling, how we can adapt, use the adaptive implementation methodology to also link it to the scheduling. That's it. But next session we'll go in detail for all of these. Any questions or comments for me?
Daniel has raised his hand.
Yes, Daniel. Oh, I want to stop sharing. Hello, Daniel. Feel free to unmute and speak to us. Daniel? Hello? Hello? So for now, yes, doctor. Any comments or questions? We did have an introduction to the scheduling, and we'll be handling the critical path method, how to determine the critical path, and then the next session will also look at adaptive implementation. But for now, truth is, I'm not feeling well, but we shall look at this in depth. Any questions or comments so far?
Thank you, Kuloba. Thank you, Kuloba, for a wonderful presentation. Despite that, it is normal as a human being. We sometimes our bodies react differently. We wish you a quick recovery. We really appreciate the introduction to the topic, and the articulation was good for me. I want to encourage my colleagues that these trainings are free, and the certificates are issued. The kind of certificates that are issued, they are accredited certificates by NITA in Kenya, and each one of you will advise us on how to send to you the certificate, and we shall, whether it is through soft copy, but Ronald shall be able to sign your certificates together with the CEO of Basket One. There is attendance register which is online. Kindly remember that attendance register is the one that is going to determine whether you are going to get a certificate or not. We don't want to issue a certificate to somebody who did not acquire the skills. This is trainings are organized by Community Breakthrough Support Mission. They have a program they call a Community Capacity Building Program. And all of us, we are just volunteers, including the facilitator. We want to use the brain we have to enrich others and share with the local community wherever you are in this world, using the technology and sparing our time so that we help Community Breakthrough Support Mission realize their calls. Having said that, Ronald, we wish you quick recovery. Kindly take care and consider seeking medication. Participants, as we part, because you seem not to have questions, we were ready to answer questions even if Ronald was not feeling well, because we work as a team. We work as a team. And now that you don't have questions, invite your friends to join and they improve their CVs, they improve their skill deposits and their profiles. These are free trainings. Remember, the only cost you have is to attend. Remember to sign or to fill in attendance register and kindly proceed. Ronald, proceed.
Yes, maybe to bring the participants I just need to say this to the participants. The next session is going to be really, really critical. Please endeavor to attend, especially for.
Ronald, I'm not hearing you. I don't know whether my computer is wrong.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh,
I think, Daktari, you adjust your computer because it's very clear.
So what we are going to do, the next session, we are going to handle a very, very critical component, which is adaptive implementation, and it is really linked to the schedule management. And you can invite your friends. It's going to be a longer session than usual. It will take time. It will take around 2 or 3 hours to go through all this. But I know everyone who will attend will benefit greatly from that the next training that is going to happen. That is it from me. Back to you, Dr. and Sylvia.
Back to Sylvia. I have nothing to add.
Daktari, you have not shared the
thank you
attendance
everyone
form.
for.
Robert, what were you saying?
I'm saying you have not shared the attendance form today.
There is our ICT person, Mr. Innocent. Alphonse did not attend today, but there is another ICT person called Diana Torin. Diana, are you there?
Diana is there.
Diana, are you there?
Yeah.
Sylvia, have you guys shared the attendance register? Or you sent?
Yeah, I'm sharing in a bit. Yeah, I'm sharing in a bit.
Let's kindly wait for Diana to share the link to the attendance form. Then we can leave at our own free will after signing. Thank you. The attendance form has been shared through the comment section. Kindly sign. Yes, Emily. Emily. Kindly sign the attendance form in the comment section, then you can leave at your own free will. The training has been completed. We will be meeting next Friday for another training, for the continuation of this training. So kindly sign in the attendance list. I have sent another link over there. Kindly sign in the link I have sent. If the other one is not working.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I'm done. Thank you very much.
Karibu sana. Thank you for coming.
Mimi nakwambia si nimemesa.
If you have signed the attendance form, we are allowed to leave at our own free will. Thank you guys for coming. We'll meet next Friday for the continuation of today's presentation. Thank you.
Dang.